Hi guys, this is Stuart from Zadell Property Education and
Naomi, Australia's rapid renovation expert.
And we've just put her to the test. We're sitting on the couch, we're reflecting on the rapid renovation that was the challenge. We gave her a house, she didn't see it, didn't know it, we funded the budget.
Didn't approve it.
Didn't approve it, but we did it, and it's all said and done. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about the figures and the return on this project. Now, in your education, you say there's 4 ways to make money, essentially, with your formula.
Correct.
There's probably more
There's
if you would have thought about
There's
it.
4 main ways.
Cool.
Yeah.
So one is to buy, renovate and flip or sell a property for cash flow.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can make, what sort of money can you make?
So generally if you're doing a cosmetic, if you're flipping, so flipping, I would be looking at a minimum profit of around $30,000, $35,000 is the minimum.
So obviously when you flip, you've got stamp duties and all that sort
and
of
that's
stuff.
all included.
Yeah, cool. So that's one way to make money.
That's part of your costs.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that can replace your income, so it can free you up from a job. You can have flexibility. We've got plenty of students doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Second one is you can renovate existing investment properties, which is a classic case, which is what we've done here for the owner. And we'll talk about that in a moment. You can renovate your own home. Correct.
Adding value.
Add value.
Release equity.
To draw down the equity. If you wish to go again and accumulate more property, absolutely. You can draw down equity for lifestyle if you want to.
Yep.
Or you can just have a bigger buffer in there for a rainy day. A rainy day, yeah. And of course, going back, you can renovate existing rental properties. Now, the property we are sitting in right now has been owned by the owner for just on 20 years, is my understanding. And it's essentially their superannuation. So they rent this property out, it funds for their lifestyle. Yeah. The owner is retired, getting on in years, and this property was ripe for a cosmetic renovation. Now, in this area, in this suburb, and I want to point out, we wouldn't, and a gentleman pointed out in the weekend, was asking me a question, we wouldn't have bought this property to flip because of the price points and the stamp duty involved and all the value we could have been added in this area.
Correct.
Probably wouldn't have done it for that, but that's not why we're doing that.
That's right, because we weren't choosing that strategy.
No, we weren't using that strategy. I just wanted to showcase your talents, your whatever, and all that sort of stuff. So we did a person's existing investment property. Now, before we got into this property, in fact, we showed you the video. There were still tenants in the property when we filmed it. Gave them plenty of time, knowing it was happening, and asked them to move out and all that sort of stuff with plenty of warning. I think they had 6 months warning, all up, that this was going to happen. But it was being rented long term at $485 a week. When we started this process, the agent thought that we would get around $600. Now that's a significant increase, as it is. And when I actually worked out the figures, that's a very smart thing for the owner to do. Having spent, 50 grand, give an extra 10%.
There was no take.
We spent a little bit over that. But he could have had that money in the bank, in a term deposit or something, earning 1.75% or something like that.
Yep.
I worked it out on the weekend on 50 grand or whatever. It's like $750 a year. He would have had to pay tax on half of that probably, or a percentage of that, 30% of that. And you've also got inflation, which is, I don't know what it is right now, but it's about 1.5% a year, something like that. So he's actually losing money by leaving money in the bank, having this property under rented. So along come us, we'll pay for it, you let us film it, give us the property, we'll hand it back to you, you can go for it from there. So now what's happened is the rental agent has been on site, literally in a couple of hours from now. Gnomes, and you're leaving the styling in here tonight, aren't you? Just checking. All right. I know you're going to get the truck packed and back to Silk Home in Newcastle. We're trying to get her to stay a little bit longer for the open inspection. So we've got about 10 couples already. So initially people inquired, there were 2 inquiries in the first day. It's been up for a few days. They haven't put any signage out the front, no open home boards or anything, just online.
So it's pretty much a soft launch.
Yeah. It's to see. And the agent walked in, she was blown away with it. She didn't see it styled, by the way, so I would have liked to have seen it. She had the leasing agent. And she said straight away, she goes $650 any day of the week, and I think we'll go in at
That's exciting,
$670.
That's
now, if we've got 10 couples or prospective tenants this afternoon. If it rents at $670.
What sort of increase is that?
I worked it out, don't quote me, 34%. 485 to 670, a 34% increase. That's staggering.
That's massive.
The same house, same footprint. But it just goes to show when you do the formula, when you get inside the head of the prospective buyer or renter. Now, obviously, we've modernised everything. It's a complete internal renovation. But that wasn't just the magic. It was your magic in the floor plan and the use of this property. And that's a huge return. For that owner, 34% increase in the rent compared to having that money in the bank. This is just staggering. That's almost, what is it, like $175 extra a week, or
It's huge.
you know, if it rents at $650, you're looking at $150 or $175, around that area. You know?
Massive positive
We're
cash
talking
flow.
about an extra 7, 8, and could even go closer to $9,000 a year in income to the owner.
That's huge.
Now you put that return over a 50, 55 grand spend.
Yep.
Like even that's a huge return on your investment in money.
Absolutely.
Probably the single smartest thing that owner could have done with his money, and obviously we've done it for him. So
Winning.
yeah, beautiful. So what were some of the key things we did in this property to cater for tenants, Naomi,
You know,
based on the research that we did?
yeah, so look, the research we did came up with a couple of things. It came up with the fact that it had 2 markets. So the property had 2 markets. It was a young family or a couple with 1 child or maybe 2, or it was downsizers because it was a beautiful level block.
Yes.
And so there are a couple of things we needed to do. Number one, if we were thinking about downsizers, we only had a shower over the bath in the main bathroom.
Yeah,
So for downsizers, that is a massive drawback, an absolutely
for
huge drawback.
Mobility reasons?
For mobility reasons,
Safety
reasons. So if you have a bath over a shower, someone who moves in here at like say 60 or 65,
Yeah.
they're pretty much aware that this isn't going to be the house that they finish up in,
Yeah.
because they're not going to be able to safely get in and out of that bathtub as they get older and older.
Yeah.
So it's not as safe. They lose mobility as they get older. So we had to, without doubt, try and squeeze that extra shower in, which we did.
Yeah.
So
Can I just jump in?
Yeah.
Another thing, just when we're talking about fixing the towel rails and the toilet
yeah,
rails, talking to the builder about it, he said, well, sure, it depends who your tenant is. I said, what do you mean? He said, if it's going to be an older tenant, he said, I just want to let you know, because we'll talk about drilling the
Yep.
tile and fixing it to the wall.
Yep.
And he said, older people tend to use toilet roll holders and towel rails
and so do children.
as support.
It's so true.
As support. Yeah, but I guess one weighs a lot heavier
Yeah,
than the other as
totally.
well. So I was talking about that in terms of how we fixed it to the
Yeah.
wall. So that was a significant thing, depending on who the market was as well.
Absolutely. And so that was one of the biggest things we had to think about for our downsizing market. And at the same time, most downsizers, a lot of downsizers have grandchildren. So that's the reason that we didn't want to completely get rid of the bath that was already in there,
put a new
because
bath
they
in.
needed that. We put a new bath in instead, and
But-
we got rid of the spa bath.
I've got to say, we got rid of the spa. No, at this point, you had almost lost me. I feel like, does she really know what she's doing?
We got rid of the yellow spa
So
with the
tell us
gold
about
fittings.
the spa, the danger of those things as well.
Well, they're not great. They're unhygienic.
Uh-huh.
They're really unsafe for
No,
children to be in.
People's hair that's
That's
gotten-
right. It's so unsafe for a child to be in a spa bath. Obviously, children can't be in spa baths ever or baths ever unattended.
Yeah.
But if a child was to accidentally switch on a spa and their hair was to get caught in it, it's disastrous. It is not an appealing thing for a family bathroom in a family home.
And even for a rental, in terms of insurance and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's just smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Always keep it simple. So there are a couple of
Now
things.
we got rid of the fireplace too.
Oh, we got rid of the fireplace.
So also,
We got rid of them. I love a good open fire.
who doesn't?
But you cannot sacrifice function. Even pretty things, even beautiful design is
Yeah.
useless without function, Stu.
But also, I think we've improved the safety of the house without a fire available in it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It already had reverse cycle air conditioning,
Yep.
so we weren't compromising on the comfort
Yep.
or the value in the property.
Yep.
It was purely that was a very specific and could, for some people, especially with a young family, be a polarizing aspect.
Definitely. Definitely.
And what it did, so it's actually in this room that we removed the fire, it meant that we actually have a fully functional space now.
Yeah.
Because the
yeah.
fire wrote off half of the room.
You can turn the room any way you want.
Any way you want.
Yeah, huge space.
Yeah.
So in terms of a prospective tenant, we feel it's probably going to be more a young family, which was
Yep.
what was in here before
Yep.
we did the renovation.
Nice.
Now, it's a great property. We've got schools within a kilometre of here.
Yep.
We're 700 or 800 metres from the local train station. The shopping centre,
Yep.
that's it, everything. It's very, very close. Great property, level block. It's pretty smart.
You should move in.
Yeah. Not completely level, but
It is pretty level.
totally accessible and usable.
Absolutely.
So what else did we do with that target market in mind?
So we didn't have storage here before. There
Enough
was
storage,
one.
yeah.
There was one really tiny linen press, which we kept
We kept,
because there's nothing wrong with it,
no,
and it would have cost us way too much money to pull it out and plaster it up.
and it nearly became a shower.
It did, but it was too skinny.
We had a few.
It
not
nearly
enough,
became
not
a shower.
enough,
We were about this far off of it becoming a shower. But what we did do is we had an oversized toilet out the back. And so we chopped part of that off to create additional storage, as well as in our oversized laundry that we converted into the second bathroom, we put in piles of storage and not just shelving, because every house needs a good broom cupboard.
Yep. Yeah, tall storage.
Tall storage
ironing
is
board,
so
whatever
important.
else.
Vacuums, brooms, you name it.
Husband when he's misbehaving.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Stu got in there
put it all
earlier.
in. So, let's talk about the twin living area.
Twin living area.
Cool. So
So-
how was that important?
Well, if we're looking at a young family, that was where it was most important.
Right.
If we're looking at the young family demographic, one of the things that was happening here is there's a highly unused space in a lot of places that have been extended. So this at one point before the owner bought it, I'm assuming, had been extended. So the original house stopped at the back of this living space, and there was a very thin, so an elongated room put on the back. Lots of people have trouble working out how to live in those spaces and what to do with them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so it was really highly used as a traffic room. People traffic to the toilet, traffic to the laundry, traffic to the dining room, backyard. But now what we did by putting on a set of beautiful, big sliding doors, we've been able to make it a complete separate living space, and by furnishing it very cleverly. And so that means, so for the family market, that means that if there are multiple children that want some space from one another, if there are parents that want some space from the children,
Yes.
if you're entertaining and you're wanting to have, a dinner and an open plan sort of gathering out there, that the children that are at the house can be in here, and you can shut it off. So it's great for thermal qualities as well, obviously.
Didn't even think about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy saving and,
Yeah.
and just comfort. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the agent and the agent's assistant in here, Mel, said, I want to rent it.
Yeah.
That's
They
pretty
want to
good.
sell it too.
Well, the owner wants to sell it, the real estate.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said, can I apply? This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what a beautiful space does for you. And this, we're going to film another video.
Okay.
You stay tuned for another video. We're going to wrap this one up. You done for now on this bit?
I'm done.
Okay,
Now,
cool. All right, we'll catch you with the next tip soon.
see you guys.
Bye.